Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I said, babe, it's he said it's them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, race snatch, fat, shrink, fat. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I said, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. I'm in it, know do I have to from my enemies, they bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short swimming through the process, and you can't see me on the Loch Ness. You can proceed with caution, give the proceeds to my god kids. Older on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop quick, buy drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talk about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my jiggy, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh no, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh no.
Hey, Pete, let it ride out.
I like when birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again.
The NFL on EA Sports is in the Steel City at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's an old-school battle in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. The Eagles and the Steelers are underway. And that'll carry over. The back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Jack 16. 8. Let's go. Here's got Mike, number 53. Mike. King. All right, let's go.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the third team to win the year after losing the Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Ajayi, and that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Got it complete to Rodgers. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
With it is Brown. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Hey, 4 down. Jump.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. The second-year man, Smith-Schuster, coming off a terrific season. 111 catches, over 1,400 yards, and 7 scores as well.
And he could very well slide into the #1 receiver role depending on how events transpire in this offseason. But even if that doesn't happen, already has universal respect within his own locker room, was named this year's team MVP for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
8. 53 is the light. Coming. Sting.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Chris Long in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
4 down. Jack 16. Focus. 53 is the light. Check. 53. Go, guys.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Come on now. Let's go. That boy's got 4 down. Good. Waiting. Here, shift. Great.
Now a toss play. It's a Ajayi. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely to start throwing the football. But I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Got a second here to assess Pittsburgh's last season as their offense comes onto the field. You know, for most of the folks that are fans of the Steel City, they're probably saying, wow, this was tough. But, hey, they were 9-6-1. The thing is, expectations there are playoffs every year.
You're right. And to show that, they haven't been under 500 since 2003. It's a very consistent franchise. But remember how the season began. Le'Veon Bell once again holding out. They expected him to show up and play. That didn't happen. Then at the end of the year, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger. What's going to happen there? So they bookended their season with controversies. In the middle, did not play up to their standards. I still thought they were going to win the AFC North. Turned out Baltimore nosed them out. They've got to do some retooling in the offseason.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. Brown, his first catch. It's a first down. Numbers-wise, another great season for Brown. Over 100 catches, nearly 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. But, yes, there was some late-season drama, was there not?
There was, and that has the Steelers, it sounds like, listening to trade offers in the offseason. Front office saying they're not going to release him, but, quote, all options are on the table, which is not something you normally hear with your number one receiver. And those kind of numbers, remember, they're amassed despite double and triple coverage on just about every snap.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Tight end right, tight end left. Set. Blue 30.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, 2nd major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pavin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, Ibuprofen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pavin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pavin. Way to go.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. They run with Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
Sunday.
This is Ajayi. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Eagles send out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Now Brown, powering his way forward. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the 2nd straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might...
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Shorty.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
I got 19. 82.
Throwing now is Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
81.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Sunday. 20. Let's find two.
Now it's a Ajayi. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He was true on his first, this a tough one from 49 yards away. And it's no good. Elliott pulled it. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Double.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Double. 8.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, 32 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Roethlisberger will throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Big Ben going to take it himself. And he'll burrow his way forward to pick up the first. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. This time, Roethlisberger will throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And incomplete on the deep ball. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Everyone's got 4. 4 down. Focus.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Show that bench release and go. Baby.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
Jack 16. Self out. 53 Mike. Check 53 Mike. Self out. Here we go. Here we go. Self out.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Chris Long in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 43 yards. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Working from the gun, Wentz. Another reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. Jay's going to go. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Ladies!
the toss. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now they try the right side here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey. Four down. Key 26.
Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Tight end right. 4 down. Check.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, it's Wentz. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Cody Sensabaugh. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go now. Let's go. Double, double.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. He's going to rifle, and that's caught inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Eagles on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Ajayi escapes it, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here.